Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? I got one here for you right here. It's SLV. It's an ETF that follows and tracks the movement of silver. So if you wanted to get on silver, I didn't look at the charts on silver, but this thing pretty much follows silver. So this is what I play on. I've made a lot of money on this thing in the past, and I just looked at it to see how it was doing because I sold all my shares a while back because I saw some rolling over happening, and we got a good dump, and I'm glad I got out. Now, looking at the 4-hourly, we have a green buy signal coming in. We've been ignoring it. Now, you guys know on this channel, when you ignore a green buy or a red sell, usually there's repercussions. When it's a red sell and you ignore it, it comes crashing down harder. If it's a green buy, it comes blasting off harder. So looking at this chart here, I looked back, right? And I see, holy shit, this is the third touch we've had on the same trend line that I've had in here for fucking months. Excuse my French, but holy shit. So it looks like we're in some type of channel that we've been bouncing in and out of for a while now. I haven't been watching this price action. But look at the green buy. All the moving averages converged. And we did get some sell-off, and that's perfectly fine, A lot of people were probably selling their gold and their silver for cash when they thought everything was going to crash during the elections. And then, they started saying either I'm going to buy some EV stocks or I'm going to buy something else. But look what happened last time. We got this green candle here, right? Massive green TD candle. And, for the hell of it, let's take a look here of the percentage gains that we got after this massive green candle. 12.57% increase from that green buy signal. From the couple, we had a couple red candles after it, but we blasted off 12.5%. Now let's look at this for the hell of it. Not that every time things repeat themselves, but if we were to come up 12.5%, you're talking $24, all right? $24 from where we are now at $21.63. I started picking this shit up. It's a little bit of a scary play, but this is the kind of shit that we do on this channel. We make these plays that are a little bit scary because they're showing us they have some life and some potential. We got in at HYLN at 1810. We got in Workhorse 1763. We got all these stocks that are booming right now. Nikola, we got that shit at 1725. Look at this. Same thing we're going to do as we did before. We're going to take a look at the RSI. Look at this. We got bullish divergence on the RSI on the 4-hourly. We could potentially do a little double bottom here on the RSI before coming up. There's no MACD crossing on the 4-hour. There's nothing here that's telling people, let's buy this thing tomorrow, except for me, because I'm a crazy motherfucker, and that's what we do. So look at this. On the 1 hour, we get the MACD coming in. 4-hour, we get the TD9 flash. We have perfect touches on this trend line on my weekly time frame. If this is going to be a bottom, this is going to be the fucking bottom. Until we blast off. I got price targets up here, $30 out of this thing. But even if you play it to $23.68 and you buy enough shares, that's a 12% gain right there. This whole thing right here, yeah, it's scary. It looks like a rounding top. Everyone was buying the hell out of it because it was pumping. I mean, I got in this thing last time. I think I got it at $23 or $22. I bought 40 shares and I ran it up to $27 and I sold it at $27. And we freaking tanked after that. So, we made plays on it last time off of the same trend line. It's back again. Something told me to go look at this thing, and I'm so glad that I did. Look at this. Is this thing right here going to turn into a big W? We're in some kind of falling channel right now. That's a bullish pattern. Yeah, it's bearish in the time being as it falls through the channel. But when this thing breaks out, we're going to have a pretty good breakout of that, which is going to bring us above our breakout of our massive pattern that we're in that's got a $30 price target. Look at this. It looks like a big W right here. Big W with a bear trap right there. Oh, yeah. a bear trap, making people fucking try to short this thing. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to turn around, go to $30 and shit all over them. So I'm hyped up right now, all right? Because this thing, to me, it looks beautiful. To someone else, they'd say, you're catching a falling knife, don't be an idiot. But when you've been in this game and you know a few things, I'm putting my channel on the line here, I know. But we're gonna do some calls on this thing. I'll do some $23 calls. Fuck it. We hold that shit and it goes up to 30. You know how much fucking bank we're gonna get? So I'm going to show you some, I'll show you like some downside possibilities just because it's always good to look at both sides. All right. And I do see a possibility of a negative thing, and I'm going to show you. But, we'll get into that in a few just so we can see both sides of this thing. It's not all just straight rainbows and butterflies, but that's how it goes when you're buying stocks that are in a little bit of a downtrend. All right, we got to look at both possibilities. Same thing we did with HYLN. Look at this. Daily. Bullish divergence. Straight across on the RSI. We're actually higher on the right. Lower on the left. Or maybe it's the opposite. Lower on the right, higher on the left on the chart. Straight across on the RSI. Weekly. All right, our weekly 20 EMA is at 23.30. All right, so now let's look at this bearish. Let's look at this bearish thing. We get the weekly 50 EMA at 1892. All right, so say this thing is gonna shit all over me instead of shitting all over the short sellers, right? This is our downside possibility. If this little channel here that's been trending in kind of looks like it could be a bear flag a little bit, okay? A little bit. So it's going to be further down than this, okay? So this is just the breakdown of, like, say this decides to break down and it's some type of good pennant here that we wanted to, or some kind of like channel or something that breaks down to the downside, right? The smaller downside breakdown would be 1914. But we're going to give the worst case scenario here. All right, this thing right here, upside down, looks like could be a bear flag, potentially. So say we want to continue down in this downtrend and we break down out of this big pattern for a fake breakdown. If it'll let me grab my freaking trend line, come on. Work with me here. Looks like it wants me to delete one of my lines because I have 15,000 lines on my chart right now. So we'll just get rid of this. There, hey, now it lets me grab it. All right, so say this next week we have crapshoot and we fall down. Now you're looking at it fall down of somewhere on these 100 or 200 daily moving averages, $17. All right. You know how we protect our money? We put a stop loss. You could put a stop loss at $20. You could put a stop loss at $21. The bottom of this trend line is at $21.30. So if you were going to make a big play on it, depending on your risk to reward, you could figure that out on how much you'd be willing to lose if it did come down versus your potential more than 12% gain. But we'll just call it 12% for now. If you want to lose 3%, risk 3%, go down and gain 12%. You know what I mean? You can figure that out on your own, your stop losses. If you were going to put a stop loss, I mean, depending on how many shares you got, I'd probably put a stop loss below $19 personally, but I don't know how much you're playing with if you are going to play this at all. That's worst case scenario, this being a bear flag of some sort. All right, I'm going to put my trend line that I had back in here, which was kind of like just like a regular channel, in my opinion, that we've been bouncing through for a very long time. For weeks and weeks, excuse me. Just sitting in here consolidating. If we were going to break down, we would have broken down. Look at how many perfect wicks we have on top of this trend line. So if next week we decide to have a bullish week, which I think it'll be the following week after that, but we'll start climbing in the meantime, 2302 is the top of your trend line there. We'd have to break out above 2302, and then we have to break out above 2368. That'll be a challenge because that's the weekly EMA, 20 EMA. But look at this overall pattern here. Whether it's a big, gigantic bull flag or a bull pennant, I should say. A flag would be straight across like a channel, not a pennant. So this is more like a pennant. It could be a bull pennant, or it could just be a big ascending triangle, something like that. We got a massive breakout coming. Let's get this shit. Jump in with me. Like this if you like what I'm thinking. And, comment, subscribe to my channel, whatever. Peace out, guys.